I guess in bits and pieces over the course of the past few years, I've come to this conclusion, but more recently, it's affected me in a deeper manner, bro. I don't know what the landscape will look like in the dating field 10, 20 years down the future, down the road. Hopefully, it's better. But the way that I see it right now, maybe I'm just too pessimistic. Maybe I'm nihilistic. Maybe I'm too much of a cynic. And everything else that ends with a C. But, and this is not to take away from the good women out there. I'm sure there are plenty. But I just don't trust women. I really don't. And the psychology and the damn near game that has to be played to get a woman to act right is, I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, when you think about it from a traditional aspect, a true masculine man won't have to play these games, so it won't really be perceived like a game. But for a lot of us guys who may be really emotional and stuff like that, it kind of is like playing a game because you got to fake it till you make it. And you got to do some things that you're uncomfortable with, like not being available all the time, even if, you know, you got the space to pick up the phone and talk for hours, but it's not the best use of your time and it's not the best decision. Ultimately, for a couple reasons. The first reason is that your time should be filled with productive activities. And the second reason is that if you make yourself too available, women are just going to take you for granted. All right. So instead of me playing the blame game, because there's blame to be had on so many platforms, so many aspects, for so many reasons, I just speak on the way things are. And the way things are right now, as a man, you'd be better off just on your purpose, bro, just being productive. And it's like I said, and it's a conclusion many men have come to before. It's like you spend all your time chasing these women. Not only will the women find a way to get away from you, so will the opportunities. And there ain't nothing like putting all your eggs in that fucking basket. The basket of just chasing women, leaving everything that you could have stood for, every bit of legacy you could have had, leaving that shit in the background. That is not the move. I'm telling you. Because where do you think the women are going? Where do you think the women are going when they leave you? They're going for the men who are doing what you should have been doing. Cold facts. Do you think they leaving you for somebody who's making themselves available all the time? It could happen. Just like it happened with you. But that shit short lived, ain't it? Who do you think they chasing? Yeah. They chasing the men who are on that purpose. It's probably indifferent about them. As you probably should be. This doesn't mean you gotta be heartless, but no woman outside of your goddamn mother or perhaps your daughter should even come close to your purpose. You know, should ever really take up a great deal of your time unless they've earned that right. And I hope that if you still do believe in being in love and things like that, that you actually do find somebody who's worth the trust and that they actually earned it, just like you went out of your way to earn things from them. Because that's the thing. You know, this past weekend, it was this girl birthday, and uh, I wanted to do something nice for her, even though she was always a flake. She always flaked on me. We had good times, and I guess somewhat of a good bond, but she flaked on me too much. And so I bought this stuff. You know, I don't drink. I bought an expensive bottle of Douce or whatever. I mean, it's relative. What's up, my man? So I bought that. I bought a couple other things, and The plans didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. On Saturday, she took too long to get back to me. She knew that I was buying things for her, and she knew that I was coming over that night. And she waited till, I mean, let's just say the plan fell through. And the next day was her birthday. And, I started to give it to another woman, but I was like, hold on. This woman didn't deserve that shit either. And then you know what I found to be more satisfying than that? I gave it to my cousin. And that felt so much better. And then, okay, then it made me realize that that felt better than trying to reward mediocrity, to reward a fleeting person, someone who left me unsure about where we stand, where we stood. It was much better than giving something to somebody who didn't give me much of anything. It was much better to give it to family. And it really made me redirect my focus. It's like, now is not the time to expend my resources, my time, my energy on outsiders, on people who didn't earn it. I'd rather spend it on my family. I'd rather spend it on my daughter. I took my daughter to Chuck E. Cheese. Nothing special, but I took her there, and watching her smile meant more to me than trying to court a woman, trying to please a woman who doesn't deserve it, who would just take me for granted. And I'm just not one of them. I'm not one of them dudes you can drive into the ground and be happy for the opportunity. That shit is just not going to happen. It's not going to work for me. All right. And so, with that said, put the focus on self first. See where that gets you. I bet you'd be a lot more happier. Yeah, it might feel like you're taking the L up front. You may deal with loneliness or whatever. Maybe your conversation won't be able to line up with the other guys and what they talking about and what's being showcased on social media. Put yourself first. Make your mission your love interest. See how that turn out. And a lot of women are running away from these beta males, from these simps who want to keep making the woman the priority and not their mission. A lot of them women, they're going to find their way to you. They won't be able to help themselves. They don't know what to do with the man who's indifferent about them. It don't matter how they look. You know what I'm saying? It's beyond your purpose. You have to be the mountain, and the women have to be the wind. That's how it's meant to be. You can hate human nature all you want, but it's better to respect it because it's very consistent. All right.